Hey, so I wanted to make a quick video talking about something that I think is a stumbling block for um, maybe more intellectual types or people who need to understand more in order to believe. And that is something that you read all the time, which is that when you change your inner world, the outer world will rearrange itself to reflect your inner state. And I think that sounds like magic when really parts of it are sort of magical, parts of it are unexplainable, but it's really not as completely mystical as it sounds. You know, it's not like you change your inner world and you wake up and the outer world is actually completely different in reality. Like you go to bed weighing a certain amount and you wake up weighing a different amount. That's not what that means, and that's why I don't think it should just be rejected out of hand, which I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people read Neville or read any, James Allen or Wallace Wattles or whoever, and they just say this is total bullshit and this is magic and I don't believe in this. But there's a reality to it, and the reality is that first of all, when you change your inner world, since everything that's happening outside of you is being filtered through your lens, when you change your lens, you change your reality, because so much of your reality is just made up by your perception. Whether or not an object exists in front of you is not something that's going to probably be affected by your perception, but say the way you view and experience your relationships with people will certainly change immediately. The way you view your past and the things that happen every day in your life will change immediately. I mean, your past can change drastically in your mind when you change your mind. I mean, and that changes everything. So that's a big part of your world changing. When you change your inner world, your outer world, your perception of your outer world changes. But also, I think the key thing for me in understanding this is that the way that you come across to the world, the decisions you make, the actions you take, just your experience of everything, the influence that you have on other people changes drastically when your inner world changes. The type of behavior you're willing to accept from people you allow into your life changes, which changes who you have around you, how often you have people around you. It changes in reality things that are going on in your life, and it sets you in a totally different direction. The way you present yourself, the way you act, the decisions you make, there's a real impact, a very noticeable real impact. The decisions that you make from your current state of mind are taking you in one direction. You change your mind, you start making different decisions, subtle different decisions, and you go in a different direction. And the further you get down that road, the more different your outer reality is. And that is how your inner world changing forces your outer world to mold around you. That's what that means. And there's the element to it that I don't think, as much as I obsessively think about it and try to figure it out, there's an element to this that has not been explained, that I don't think will be explained, that is energetic in nature, that has to do with divine intelligence, that aids all of these changes. When you change your inner world and you're going in a different direction, things just seem to happen that carry you along in that direction. That part I don't think will ever be explained. At least I don't think it's been explained in any satisfactory way at this point. But in the Bible it says God helps those who help themselves. That's what I think that means. When you change your inner world, when you change your thoughts, when you weed out disempowering beliefs that don't serve you, beliefs that aren't helping you to get where you want to go, I don't know, the world just seems to envelop you and help you get there. That's been my personal experience over and over and over again. I was thinking about what's my point in making this channel. I think a big thing about it for me, a big thing that I wanted to do with it is try to address objections that I would think, okay, somebody might read this and say, what? I've experienced it. I want to tell you what I think it means, because there's such a practical nature to all of this stuff. Like, it's mystical, and there's an element to it that is just, seems like magic, but so much of this is just practical stuff. It's just rewriting your script. It's changing your actions and doing different things that create a different outer reality. And part of, I think, my drive to make this channel is when I see these things where I'm just like, ooh, I could see how somebody might misinterpret that and just shit can the whole thing. So that's one of the things that I think seems magical, and people often just state it like that. Change your inner world and your outer world has no choice but to change, or your outer world will mold itself to whatever your inner, state is. That's what that means. It comes through you mainly with the aid of divine intelligence. That is undeniable at this point. Like, if you watch my channel, if you've been around, and you know that sort of like the thing that I've been working on, or the thing that I didn't have that I wanted, was the right person. I can't explain why it was that, or how it was that Matt came to know of me. Why was he in the right place at the right time to see me? Why was I visible? That's the stuff I can't explain. I don't, that's the part that is in the hands of something greater, something greater connected to both Matt and me. I don't know that part, but I do know that I did all kinds of things. I changed myself, and I did things that I felt compelled to do, like making a YouTube channel. That's what I think that stuff means. I changed my inner view of myself and my inner view of relationships and what I wanted. And, mainly I changed that I not only believed it was possible, but that it was a sure thing. That was the key thing. And it just came to me. It was effortless. That part was effortless. Matt just saw me. We saw each other eventually as, potential partner. It just happened. For that part of it, I didn't have to lift a finger, but I did all kinds of other crap, as you can see, on this channel. If you look back, I was doing all kinds of stuff. I was changing all kinds of things. I was taking actions that seemed to be for one thing and ended up being for another, or ended up aiding another. So yeah, I think that's what I wanted to do with this channel, is address these objections. That's a big one. It sounds mystical, but there's so much practical, real world stuff that goes into it. Just if that is something that is a stumbling block for you, just think of it in practical terms. I think some people have a really hard time believing in the divine intelligence aspect of a lot of this stuff. Just let it aid you. You don't even have to be aware of it. I think I'm going to make another video about this. There is so much that has happened throughout my time using this stuff to make my life the way I wanted it to be. There's so much that I have just written off immediately as a coincidence, or just said, oh, what good luck that was. You don't have to be tapped into the divine intelligence aspect of this in order for it to aid you and for it to work for you and to do everything. All you really have to do is believe. And in order to believe, it really helps to weed out all that stuff. So yeah, I hope this was the right message for somebody at the right time, and have a great day.